All right, so anybody want to do a recap of where we left off?
As I remember it, we killed some spiders. Some spiders killed some people. Crazy lightning bolt struck down from the sky. Devastating. Just devastating. Fought some more spiders. Tricked some dark mantles. And yeah, I think we won, right? Right, guys? We won. Pretty sure.
Woot! Yes.
We did it. We won the game.
That does sound about right.
It's got to be a new record, right? Completing the game at level 2. Yay!
All right, so
Kayfar does a dance.
you guys have continued on traveling through the Underdark, led still by Sareth and Chinchar. Again, days seem extremely long, and everything is starting to look very familiar. Almost like you're going in circles on most days. But you have found a couple of different areas where there's been different types of fungus growing around. Stuff that's been able to be used for food and water and stuff. So you guys have been having a little bit easier time making sure that you have enough food and water. And you did find a bunch of giant mushrooms. One of them is like gray and green caps and a light gray stalk. That's very leathery. So you've been able to make a couple more like small sacks, stuff to hold the water and things like that. Also, you've noticed that this stuff can be used to make hats or scrolls. If you like soak them in water for a little while and then let them dry.
Hats, you say?
Yep. Nice little paper hats, almost.
It's a haberdashery.
We should have a party.
Party hat.
You've also come across a couple of different times now in the past, what seems to be a couple of days that you've been traveling. Something that a lot of the natives have referred to as zerka wood. They're pretty much what goes as trees in the underground. They're giant, large mushrooms that can pretty much be broken up and chopped into hard wood stalks and stuff. So the drow has said that a lot of places make furniture, containers, bridges, rafts, things like that out of these mushrooms. And you can also gain food and stuff from them as well. So while you're traveling around, you guys have started to find a lot of the little things in the Underdark that make it not so fearful for food and water, but it is kind of scarce from time to time.
We should be set on water because I can create it.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any means of like marking like the walls or the floor so that we stop seeing familiar spots?
Well, these mushrooms seem useful for all sorts of things. Let's see if they're useful for making markings on the floor.
You have been found, or you have found stuff that can be kind of used as almost ink, but in the Underdark, it's kind of hard to determine when you write stuff unless you have a light source, because it doesn't really stand out much.
We need to be using like phosphorescent ones.
All right, so you guys have starts out on what seems to be like the 4th or 5th day after the last adventure, or last time we met, and you're walking around the caves. It does feel like you guys have been making progress, as slow as it's been. But you come upon an individual lying on the ground. Seems to be an elf, stripped of most of his gear and wearing rags. Seems to be very badly beaten.
But still alive?
It appears so. They seem to be trying to crawl through the dark.
Oh, here, let me help you. Are you okay?
I think so. I not in the best of health. I managed to escape a cave not far from here. And see that each sound that comes out of them, they seem to be in immense pain.
I'd like to try and ascertain whether or not this guy's telling the truth. Do I believe him?
Why wouldn't you believe him?
I'm not asking that out loud.
I'm going to put my hand on him and cure wounds.
Insight check.
Sorry, say that again, Kilter?
Go ahead and do an insight check.
Okay.
You do get the sense that he is telling the truth. He's definitely been beaten, so everything seems to be on the up and up.
He doesn't seem to be trying to deceive us at all.
No.
Okay.
If he is, he's doing an extremely good job of it, because you can see like bruises, cuts that are still oozing, stuff like that. So
the drow would go that far for a ruse. Absolutely, beat an elf to within an inch of his life to lure us into a trap. I mean, what self-respecting drow wouldn't try that tactic?
Are you saying this out loud?
Yes, I am saying that out loud.
Figured. So, you get a dirty look from the dark elf in the group.
I look at him and I'm like, "Tell me I'm wrong."
He just shakes his head and goes back.
Right. I'm going to put my hand on the non-dark elf's shoulder and cure wounds on him.
All right.
Tisk, precious resources wasted on somebody that could well be an enemy. He was in no danger of dying. He was just injured.
And you see that he starts to feel better.
Keep that in mind when you're at 2 HP, Kayfar.
I will. I'd rather you use your spells to bring me back from the brink rather than heal some superficial scratches and bruises.
You see the person's heart just stand up and thank you. I don't. I kind of agree. You may need those resources later, but like I said, I escaped from a cavern of, I think they were kobolds, but my party was captured and killed. I barely managed to escape. And you can see he also seems to have like burn marks on his legs. but not burn marks from fire.
So, like maybe acid?
Yeah. Chunks of skin kind of have been eaten away. And they still seem, you see that he tries to wipe them off, but it still keeps eating away at the skin. You can see he's still in pain.
Can I do a medicine check to see if any of these funguses that we've seen would help?
Sure. You do recall that some other fungus might be able to help heal him, but you haven't seen it for a couple of days, so. He turns to you all and says, if you would be so kind, I would suggest that if you can erase the kobolds from existence and maybe regain our gear, as you look to be short on it yourselves.
How many kobolds did you say there were?
There weren't that many, but they weren't normal. There's something, he just screams in pain really badly, grabs his head, and all of a sudden just starts to speak in gibberish.
All right. Yep. I'm just going to go ahead and. Oh, yeah. Hang on. Give me a sec. I'm going to see if I can find a mushroom too. Something that'll help. Medicine check, right?
Yep. All right. You do remember seeing some that would do that.
All right. I grab one and I just show. We need to calm him down. Whatever's going on, he's in serious danger. Here, and I kind of like feed him this. I kind of hand it over to Topsy. Give him this; it'll calm him down.
All right. Topsy, not in the most quickest fashion, takes it and then kind of moves over to him and forces it down his throat.
Once he calms down, we can find out where this cave is. Maybe see if we can get some gear, or maybe at least find out where we need to avoid.
You see the guy. He starts to chew on the mushrooms, but it doesn't look like he's doing it intentionally. It's almost as if he's screaming and just happens to be chewing it. He grabs his head, starts thrashing around, screaming, muffled with the mushroom in his mouth, until eventually he just all of a sudden collapses.
Can I do an Arcana check to try and figure out what it was that caused him to do that? Because I don't think pain in his legs would cause him to grab his head and start screaming and talking gibberish.
You clearly never had a Charlie horse.
No. Kayfar has never had that.
Kicks him in the back of the leg.
You're not exactly sure. I mean, you do know.
I'm guessing I've not come across anything that.
Well, you're not 100% sure exactly what has caused it. You guys do know that madness has swept into people and have caused excruciating pain through like psychic damage before, but you're not sure that this is what actually happened.
Could we judge from the direction that he was crawling where he came from?
Yes, actually, as you kind of look around, trying to determine where that is, you can see a couple of spots where the stone has started to almost melt away, almost like he was leaving a trail.
The stone is melting away from him?
Probably from the acid.
Ugh.
And I guess with that, like there'd probably be maybe a little bit of a blood trail that we could
Yeah, let's follow.
potentially follow. All right. So what do we want to do? Do we want to try and deal with these kobolds? I mean, we have 2 scimitars between us. Obviously, I have a couple of spells that I can use, but whatever we need to do, definitely to watch out for that acid.
Yeah, no kidding.
And you noticed, or Shingar and Sarath also say, well, this is the direction we were heading anyways. Might as well see. Maybe this will lead us further on where we were headed.
Well, okay then. Looks like we have our direction.
All right. So, again, you guys walk for a little ways, and the walls start to narrow considerably as you make your way through the tunnels. There starts to become a thick, damp odor of fungus and something that smells similar to like old dairy or filthy boots. It grows stronger as you make your way further down the tunnels. The tunnels start to close into about 10 feet wide at one point, and you can see that it kind of splits a little bit ahead, and you can hear a metallic tapping and a sound of a heated argument in what seems to be a draconic language.
Let's try sneaking up and see if we can see them.
All right. Are you going to continue in the same order that you guys have been typically walking in, or do you want to move around, change the order up some?
It's still pitch black around here, right?
Actually, no. It has started to glow. You can see illumination from within inside the passage that you're headed. Like going further in, you can see light start to go around. You also, every once in a while, get a tingle of a magic sensation.
How high is the ceiling?
About 10 feet.
Kayfar will say, be careful around here. The magic seems somewhat unstable.
So right now, from what I remember, you have the drow and the Koto or Shinjar in the front, followed by the Prince and Topsy, the Greenbottle twins, Stool and Ikkiki, Kayfar, and Imeávie, sorry. And
Imeávie.
Yeah, and Eva at the back.
All right. I mean, if we're going to try and go up and get a closer look, I don't think we should take all 11 of us like with each other.
Agreed.
I think a smaller group should move on ahead and see what we can do. Well, I would probably suggest that since we can somewhat see, I would suggest the 2 halflings, since they'll have a natural affinity for stealth. Myself,
ones that can't see?
No, because we can see now.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Myself, I'm probably not as stealthy as them, but I can get by. And it's always good to have a keen mind to try and assess the situation and see what we can make of it. What about you and Ikkiki? How do you guys feel?
I can kind of not necessarily hang back, but not go forward, just because if it gets really bad, I can run in, turn into like some kind of large animal, and then just kind of be like a literal battering ram.
Okay. Imeávie?
I
got him
can
doing it
I can attempt to stealth and move up, or I can hang back and attempt to defend. I'm not very good at defense.
See, I'm not entirely sure what your skill set is, so I don't know whether or not you'd, I mean, do you think that you would be helpful scouting ahead?
I can try.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, I guess the Prince and Topsy can guard the rest of them while we scout ahead, and then we can meet back up once we figure out what's going on.
Bree is a rogue, so sneaking is kind of a second nature.
Yep, Alton is a ranger, so he also has that ability. Though in combat, they're probably not super capable. Oh, who has the two scimitars?
Ikkiki
I have
and
one.
Eldith.
Ikkiki has one. Okay. Eldith has the other. All right.
Can you use a scimitar?
Alton can. He's a ranger.
I'm going to give him the scimitar because I still have my talons if I need a weapon.
Okay.
Okay, so the rest of the motley crew, you kind of want to hang back?
Yes.
Okay. But you can keep it on. All right, so as you slowly start to make your way forward, again, you do see that the passage leads for about 10 feet before it splits off to the left and to the right. You move closer. The twins move forward and you hear a small click as they move up.
Oh, no.
So, Bree is missed by a bolt, where it looks like Alton is hit for 4 points of damage.
Oh, dear.
And you can see kind of, they turn around to see hidden in the passageway, kind of covered from where you can only see by going forward, are two heavy crossbows, but kind of built into the passageway.
All right.
All right, so as you guys move forward, you can see opens to the left and to the right. To your left, you can start to make out that that is where the argument is coming from, and then to the right is where the metal sound.
All right. Well, I guess actively checking for traps. We should creep forward. Kayfar would suggest a hand signal pointing towards the metal sound. Unless he can hear the voices, since we can hear arguing and we've already gotten a little closer. Can we hear what they're saying?
It's in Draconic, so those of you that know Draconic...
Kayfar doesn't, and neither does Alton.
Bree doesn't either.
All
right.
So
Maybe we should...
You just hear a bunch of yipping, yapping.
Actually, Kayfar's going to motion that we should go towards the arguing. We might not be able to understand them, but if we can see, we might be able to infer.
All right. So, you guys go to the left. You guys are headed towards the left. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
All right. So, as you approach this chamber, the hostile voices arguing seem to be growing louder and louder. And you can, as you look in, you can see 3 kobolds standing around a large pile of treasure. These kobolds strike you as strange, as their skin is covered in a greenish ichor. The kobold to the left and right of the treasure pile each are holding giant maggots on a leash. And the third kobold holds his head in his hands, looking perturbed. The pile of treasure between them seems to consist of several coins and trinkets which have been dumped from a pair of chests that sit open on the floor next to the kobolds.
Alton, Bree, and Ikkiki Kayfar are the only ones who see this, right?
No, if everybody is followed up, there's enough room where you guys can all move through the tunnel there. Yeah.
I thought the rest of us weren't following them.
Oh, okay. So Ikkiki and
What? No, I thought it was basically us all going, and then the all of the NPCs that were staying behind.
Okay.
That's what I thought.
That was my understanding as well. So.
Oh, okay. I'm up there then, I guess.
Ikkiki starts drooling, looking at the maggots.
Do birds drool?
Kayfar will.
She does.
Motion to like a wait, and then motion to the other side, so that we can just take a peek.
All right. So you quietly move back towards the other entrance. And as you approach this chamber, the metallic tapping you heard earlier grows louder. Beneath that noise, you can hear a voice muttering and cursing, again in Draconic. You see a chaos array of boxes, pieces of metal, and various other scraps skewed about the room. As you kind of inch in a little bit, you can see off around a bend where it's pretty well lit with fungus. You can see the shadow of what looks to be a kobold moving around, its arms going up and around, looking frantically busy on something. And it doesn't seem to hear or see anything except what's in front of him. You're able to kind of move out a little bit and stay at a good distance, but still see that he also has this greenish ichor covering his skin.
So do we just see the one kobold in there?
Yes, in the one where the boxes and everything, you only see one. Then there are 3 and 3 giant maggots around a pile of treasure in the other. Okay.
And does when we're in the room where the people are arguing, can we hear the tinging and vice versa?
No, there's enough distance between the two where the sound kind of fades and is not as loud.
Okay.
I tap Kayfar on the arm, and I sort of make a gesture with my two hands, tilt my head to the side with the two hands under it, and I point at the one
Or it's going
kobold.
to go down. One of the two.
I point at that. I point at that one kobold there. I draw my finger across my throat with the tongue sticking out of the side, and sort of gesture like, "Shall we?" with like a sort of open hand out to gesturing in that direction.
I'll shrug.
Alrighty. Ikkiki just kind of cocks her head like, okay.
All right, so you guys are all moving towards the single kobold, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, incidentally, who is it? Alton will give the scimitar to Bree because she's a rogue, and rogues have sneak attack. Much more useful than Alton having it.
Is a scimitar a simple weapon?
I'm pretty sure that rogues are proficient with scimitars anyway. It's not
Rapier
necessarily
and
simple,
short sword.
but oh, is that it? Okay,
Long
never
sword.
mind then.
Yeah.
All right.
That
Well,
looks
yeah,
like me.
Alton will keep it then. Unless there's anything in here that Bree could possibly pick up and use as a dagger. You did say that there were pieces of metal around.
Yes, actually, Alton has a shiv that he was able to get back from when he was in prison. So
Cool. Yeah, he's gonna hand it over to Bree.
Bree can have a dagger.
Right. So, how far away
Go ahead.
is this
Go ahead and add
this kobold from us?
Okay. So they is. He's about 20 to 35. 25 feet away from the entrance. So,
Okay.
you guys intend to try to kill him or sneak up and kill him, whatever?
How closely bunched together are all of these things?
Well, at the minute, there's just the one kobold. The room that we're in. There's us and the one kobold. So Kayfar's suggesting that we take this one guy out first, and then we go for the others.
Okay, so a little bit, just the room is a odd-shaped circle where it's about 35 feet from left to right, and about 40 feet across the whole room, with a small alcove off to the right that's about 10 feet, like a 10 feet semicircle.
All right. So Kayfar will start counting down, gesturing with his hands, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and suggesting that we try and get the jump on this guy.
All right, so go ahead and give me a group stealth check.
So Kayfar is going to use his Tides of Chaos. Ouch. That's not a good start. Alton.
Oh, right. All right, so you guys are actually, every single one of you has stealth check So group check. He is going to start surprise. So everyone go ahead and roll initiative. Did you guys motion for the NPCs to come in or just stay back?
To be honest, I assumed that they were further away. I didn't know they were only like 10 feet away from us.
Well, I mean, they're a little. Let's say
Is
they're a
this
little
where
further
the
back.
3 kobolds were? This
Yes.
direction?
But no, I guess not really. More people make more noise. I'm
All right.
hoping that we can try and take this guy out quickly. I mean, Kayfar didn't. If any of the others did, then that's down to them. But Kayfar didn't gesture to the other people.
All right, so we'll exclude them from this combat. Every time. Overloading the. Let me sort because it didn't do it for some reason. Alright, looks like Kayfar is first to act.
Okay. Just gonna go straight in with a hot potato. Actually, I can't really see from there, so I'll move up. And then throw out a hot potato. Hell yeah.
Alright, so you see this kobold just kind of slump to the ground and explode.
Explode?
Does he do it quietly?
Does he really
That's
explode?
what I was about to ask.
You see acid kind of just explode around. So you see acid kind of splurt around in there, and now all that's left is a pool of acid.
Can I check it and see if it's flammable?
I mean, if it was flammable, it would have ignited when I threw my firebolt at it.
Is
'Cause
that part of why he exploded?
You're not sure. You've never seen a cobalt actually explode like that before.
Did it get on me?
No, it's only 5 feet. You guys are all back here.
Yeah, we definitely don't want to get close to these things.
Kayfar's like, let's kill this guy. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, melt. Come on, guys, join in.
So
Alright.
I want to look at what was he frantically doing?
It looks like he was at a table putting together a bunch of different alchemist things. You can see a bunch of flasks laying around. There seem to be a couple of potions, some merchant scales. And an interesting looking box that seems to be a kit next to some alchemist supplies as well.
Okay, does it look like something that is easily portable that we could pack up and take?
Yes, actually almost all this stuff does.
Y'all.
In chat is all of the items you can find in this room. So there are 2 potions of healing, 3 merchant scales, 10 shovels, 10 sledgehammers, a 10-foot pole, 3 vials of what looks to be antitoxin, some alchemist fire, some flask of another looks like acidic fire, and 5 flasks of alchemist frost.
We should divide all the tools up among us.
Can
I'll
the
grab
shovel hammers be used as weapons?
They are not in the best of conditions, but they could be used as impromptu weapons, yes. And inside that kit, you see a container, various shapes and sizes of glass containers, metal containers, and some of wood. Some beautiful silk gloves, duster and brushes, tweezers, a pick, a probe, magnifying glass, an ink and quill, some chalk and charcoal, a few scraps of parchment paper, and what looks to be a small journal.
All of that looks like something that Kayfar would be very interested in.
Okay, so we'll give Kayfar the Inquisitive's kit.
What about the thieves kit for Bree?
Yep.
Yep, give that to Bree. I'll take the Tinker's tools. Is somebody keeping an ear out on those other guys?
Ikkiki would be?
Okay, we've got Alchemist Fire and Acidic Fire. What kind of skill does it take to throw things well?
It's dexterity.
Dexterity. I can take those then.
Although, yeah, here's the blurb for Alchemist Fire. That's the wrong thing.
Okay. Potions of healing. Let's.
So it has a range of 20 feet. Make a ranged attack as an improvised weapon on a hit.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll go ahead and link all the attacks that are with the different things in chat too.
Okay. So.
I can hang on to the antitoxin.
Who gets the potions of healing? I will take the Alchemist Fire, Acidic Fire, and Alchemist Frost.
All right, so there's still 5 of each of those.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I guess I'll take the healing potions. Since I don't really get up front, I can move around and heal people if need be. Ikkiki already has her spells, so if she goes down, it's good to have somebody else holding on to any extra healing items that we have.
Alrighty.
Can you link everything that's in the Inquisitive's kit because it's not in the compendium?
Yes, because it.
Thanks.
Am I proficient at improvised weapon? I don't think I am.
Well, the point of an improvised weapon is the fact that you're not proficient with it.
Right.
Unless you have the tavern brawler feat.
Could that 10-foot pole be considered a quarterstaff?
No.
Oh.
The quarterstaff's usually about 5 or 6 feet.
Anybody want to cut it?
It would also be too thin.
It'll be like the skinny end of a fishing rod, which will make it even more painful.
And break quicker. It is not designed to be a weapon. Nice try. Alright, so you can hear the argument kind of get louder back the way it came, and then quiet down in the time that you've been collecting all this stuff.
Alright, yeah, Kayfar's gonna suggest that we quietly head back over to the other side.
Alright, so I would need another stealth check as you guys approach.
Yep, sorry, I'm just gonna move Alton a little bit ahead since he would be trying to get a little further ahead of Kayfar. How close do you want us to get before we roll stealth?
You can go ahead and just roll it, and I'll use it as you guys approach. So just need Imeávies. Actually, not gonna make a difference. You guys are, as a group check, passed already. So you can now see that the kobold who had his head in his hands and the maggot that was with him ceased to be, and the other kobolds are kind of just playing around in the treasure, kind of scooping it into the chest and stuff, dividing it amongst each other.
Is there any puddle of slime where that kobold was?
Yes.
Like acid water balloons.
All right, how close can we get?
All right, so I take it you would, when you get to the entrance of the cave, you would start to move in as going to attack them?
Yeah.
Correct. I did, I linked. All right, so go ahead and move up to the entrance of the cave mouth and roll initiative.
So could Alton get to there?
Yes.
Is that okay?
Ikkiki is going to just like lift up off the ground and like
so the ceilings here inside are about 20 feet high.
Imeávie, are you following? Cool.
Yeah. Sorry, I was putting in damage on all those
Does
things.
Bree want to get here so that she doesn't have as far to travel to try and stab someone? Because if she's got to move through people and get all the way there, I don't know if she'll have enough movement.
Yeah, go ahead and get yourself situated how you guys would start. want to start the call.
Okay. Oh, you need initiative for me. Oh, nobody's rolled initiative yet.
Yeah, go ahead and roll initiative. And again, we left the NPCs in the back.
Yep.
All right. Are you okay with just... Sorry, having issues with the API.
It's all good.
Alright, so Kayfar is up first.
Okay. Kayfar's quietly gonna giggle to himself and gently shiver. Say, "Ooh, it's cold in here. The cold cuts like a knife." And as I do, I throw some water out of the little mushroom pouch that I have. And as it flies forward, it condenses into an actual blade shape towards this guy. So let's go ahead and do an ice knife.
Sorry, toward 2?
Yeah, sorry, towards
Okay.
this one. Yeah. Wait, are they all covered in slime?
Yeah, everything seems to be covered in that greenish ichor.
Okay. And is there any real distinction between this one and this one? I mean, because I see icons on them, and some of them have a 1 and some of them don't.
No, just one had the API started when I put it on there.
Right. No worries. So yeah, the one that it's the one that I noted, and yeah, let's throw a nice knife. Where is it? Ah, that's it. Throw out that chili willy.
Alright, so total of 12?
So no. So what happens is this guy will definitely take the 3 points of piercing damage, and then everybody within 5 feet of it, including him, has to make a dexterity save, DC 14, or they take 9 points of cold damage.
DC 14.
Yep. So he'll definitely take 3, and then anybody that fails takes 9.
Half one save or...
No damage on a save.
The target also has to do a save.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Got rid of that.
And while you're doing that, I will do my wild magic. Look, I'm a big boy now.
Oh my.
Okay, so for the 2 cobalt.
Don't 3 kobolds need to make saves?
No, there are only 2 kobolds. 2 kobolds, 2 worms.
Oh. Okay.
So it's
The last one.
yeah, it's the maggot on the right, and then the 2 kobolds. So all the ones that fail take 9 points of cold damage. All the ones that pass, well, and yeah, that's it. All right. And this thing looks fine, even though it took 9 points of cold.
Yep, still slithering around.
Okay. You also need to increase my size category by 1. My wild magic made me large size.
All right.
So I grow and I'm like, oh, I'm a big boy now.
You also feel a tingle of another magic as well, but nothing seems to happen.
Okay. I'm going to stay there. That'll end my turn.
Hey, Bree.
All right.
Oh, sorry. Just quickly before that happens, I'm going to use 2 sorcery points to regain that level 1 spell slot. That's my bonus action.
Gotcha.
All right. So I think Bree, seeing everything, is going to attempt to go over here.
Everything. Nope.
And so, wait a minute. This is tricky because I'm not really good at playing a rogue.
Rogue stab. Stab,
No,
or shoot with a bow.
I have no movement either.
That's just for
You
being
had enough
halfling.
movement to get to stabbing range.
I don't want to kill a character that's not mine.
Remember that this is a surprise round, so we have our entire turn and then another turn after because they rolled so low in the initiative. So we have basically 2 full rounds to kill all these guys, and we've already killed the 2 kobolds.
All right, so while they're still surprised, Bree is going to just kind of ready up and wait here.
Okay.
You know, when you ready an action, you have to declare what you're readying for. You can't just like, I ready. You need to choose a trigger for your ready.
I'm ready. I'm readying the dagger.
No,
And
it's
what's
like
the trigger?
I ready an attack if this happens. You have to. There has to be a trigger for a readied action.
So if that maggot comes near me, I will stab it.
Okay.
Within 5 feet.
It definitely won't before your next turn because it doesn't get a turn before you get another turn. because it's a surprise round, so it skips its turn this time. So you'll get another full turn before it does.
So generalized, if anything comes near me that is not a friendly character, I'm going to stab it.
All right.
Okay. Imeávie reaches down and picks up
Nice.
some dust and blows across her hand with a whisper and casts if I can find it, here it is. In that area, and they both went to sleep.
Yep.
Cool. And then says to Alton, well, this should be easy now, and gives bardic inspiration. Let's see, I think, do I want to move anywhere? No. I thought I hit the turn thing to turn.
You may have. The API seems to be acting up.
Okay.
All right, so Alton.
All right, so Alton is going to cast Hunter's Mark on this maggot here. He's going to move up to it, and he's going to try and stab it.
With advantage because it's asleep.
Yep. Sorry, I just need to add Hunter's Mark as well.
I did. Oh, yeah, damage. Right.
Okay. I don't know why I rolled Hunter's Mark. I need to roll the scimitar. So a 20 to hit.
All right. Do hit and kill the creature.
Okay. Following that, how far did I move? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. That'll be it.
Those kobolds didn't explode when they died?
They did.
Oh, they did. So did that one, did the worms then take damage?
I don't think I didn't do that. All right. So yes, it has been damaged before.
All right. So these three are basically puddles, right?
Yes.
So Ikki's going to fly right here and talon attack this sleeping worm.
Okay, that connects.
You have advantage if you want to go crit fishing.
It doesn't matter. It auto crits anyway
Oh,
because
right.
they're incapacitated.
Right.
Sorry, because they're unconscious. So you get to roll the damage die again.
Yep.
So you get to roll another d4.
All right, so it wakes up.
All right. I want to keep its attention on me.
It won't get another turn. Unless everybody misses it.
Don't jinx it. All right, that turn. Let me find my check mark.
I was gonna say I got it. Which will bring up Kayfar.
Right. Kayfar is just he's gonna reach out with his hand and with his palm facing down, just like bring his hand down as if he's like squishing something. As that happens, a hand appears like in the air above the worm and comes down and just tries to splat it. As I use the happy slap.
And you are able to squish this maggot. The squishing sound that ends combat.
Squeeze.
Kayfar's just going to lumber on through here, kind of push his way past Imeávie and come out to the others and say, "Hey, pretty sure we killed him. Come on in, guys." This is Kayfar, who went in at like, what, 5 foot something and comes out at like 12 foot tall.
Yeah, and taken back, they're seeing your size. They're taken back a little bit, but moving forward.
Is there anything interesting in that room?
Yes, the treasure. The pile of treasure contains a bronze statue carved in the shape of a Drogar warrior, cloth of gold vestment, the two empty chests that are open with the coin spilled out, the coin totaling 300 CP, 1,000 silver pieces, 500 gold pieces, and 20 platinum pieces.
Not sure how we'd carry those. I suppose we could wrap it up in the cloth of gold.
I'll just put it all in the chest. Drag the chest along.
That's true.
Alright, so while you're all gathering that up, everybody comes back in.
Kayfar, you're big and strong. You carry all this.
Just as we say that, after filtering through, a minute passes. Kayfar shrinks back down to normal size.
Oh, never mind. Okay, so we're going to pile stuff into a chest Who's nice and strong and can drag a chest?
Shar says he can. He's not really going to do much else.
I guess maybe who else could?
Shinsar also says if you wish, he can stand here and guard the treasure until you guys are done exploring. But it's up to you.
There's something green over there. This whole area looks acidy. I don't feel it.
All right,
careful,
go.
because the acid slime that got on that other guy kept burning and burning and burning no matter where he went, and there was acid, what looked like acid slime on those kobolds.
Yeah, not good. Oh, there was another room over here. Did we explore this as part of the alchemy lab stuff?
Are you going off by yourself?
No, I'm not. So how much do we want to explore here, or do we want to just see if we can find our way out?
Well, I guess the dude was saying that this was the way to get to the where we were going. Is it through here, or is it another way?
Shinsar says you hadn't really seen any other passages. If this is ending up to being a dead end, we may have to double back.
Well, okay. I guess we better form up then. Treasure in the chest. That guy can carry one chest, and I guess Topsy can carry the other.
All right.
Is Topsy? Hang on, let me just check. Is Topsy strong? Normally, he's not particularly strong, is he? So I guess the prince, since he's probably stronger.
Yeah, the prince is probably the strongest individual that you have.
Okay then. Well, I guess since we can see, let's get moving. Alton will
pull up the descriptions here. As you make your way north, again it goes to the left and to the right. In the distance to the left, you can see what seems to be the entire surface of this room is blanketed in a carpet of moss. You can also see several copper coins kind of scattered around the room. And then to your left, you see several patches of greenish ooze substance scattered across the floor. It looks very familiar to the same stuff that you see whenever one of the kobolds collapses.
I can fly over the moss and just like investigate and see if there's anything in the room.
Or there's also a passage off of the alchemist's lab.
Okay, so what would you guys like to do?
Well, I can fly in here.
Well, so go ahead.
Well, not over the moss, but I can fly over the acid just to see if there's anything in there so you guys don't have to walk through it.
CharisSophia says, yes.
It's a good idea.
Alright, so that's the room with the moss.
No. The one with the acid.
Then you need to go right.
Okay.
So you, in this room, you just see what looks to be a lot of puddles. Some of them overlapping and kind of like bubbling up. And you also do see another passageway leading off out of there.
Ta-da! Do I see any other beings?
No, you do not.
Okay. Well, there's nothing in there but lots and lots of puddles. But there is a passage leading somewhere else.
Do we want to try that way, or do we want to go back by the alchemists where there aren't piles of acid?
Did anybody check out the moss room?
You can
Not yet.
fly over it. It's probably best if you check it.
So just hovering around in there, flying around, you can see what seems to be about 50 copper coins scattered all around.
Don't worry about copper coins.
Do I see anything else?
Nope.
All right. There's just copper in there. Copper coins.
Tiny.
I'm not a Kenku.
So maybe we should check the other way a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, like back where we found that first kobold,
Yeah, there is
the elf that we found did say that his group was captured and they had their equipment. I mean, we found some treasure, but no real equipment here.
It was up over here is the passage.
Select both of them and then right click and
Ooh, there's a blue dot. Ooh,
all
blue
right,
dot.
so
plural.
as you walk into that room,
I'm not going any further yet.
yep.
He's stuck.
You trigger a trap. Need you to go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw.
Can you just move Topsy for me? He's trapped in the wall.
Yes, give me.
You hear Imeávie call out in surprise.
All right, so you notice that this room is extremely quiet except for Imeávie screaming out in surprise as a net collapses down on top of her.
So can I just extricate myself from the net?
You need to make a strength check to try to break yourself free. from it. You are now restrained by it.
Bree, can you just put her out with
Yeah,
the
can
dagger?
someone give me a hand with this?
Bree's gonna go up and start cutting at the net.
All right, so go ahead and give me an attack roll.
I'll move up and try and help with it as well.
All right, you are able to cut her free.
Never mind.
Oh, thank you. Over there, and I point off to that direction. What do we see over there?
All right. As you kind of get closer, you can make out that the floor of this cavern ahead of you starts to slope gently downwards. And you can see a thin layer of water kind of covers most of the floor. There are several bulbous fungus growing up from the ground. Each of them seem to be slick with water.
Where'd that 10-foot pole go? It was back in here somewhere. I want to grab the 10-foot pole and poke at one of them. I have to get within 10 feet. 5, 10. Assuming that's one of the...
Yes, that's one of the larger fungus.
So I want to stand back as far as possible and poke out with the 10-foot pole.
Okay. As you do, it kind of wobbles when you push it a little bit, and you see a little bit of water kind of squeeze out of it.
And does it do anything to the end of the stick of the pole?
Nope. It looks a little wet.
I sort of pull it back. Does anybody have any way to check to see if this is actually water on the end of the pole?
You could always taste it.
Here, you can do that. And I turn the end of the pole towards him.
I don't know why you'd think I would.
You hear the drow in the back says, "Is it a fungus that looks like it's covered in water?"
Yes.
Yes.
Those are water orb sprouts. They're actually edible and hold up to almost a gallon of water.
Oh. Okay.
Ikki's gonna run up to one and bite it.
Okay.
There's a lot of them in here.
It's poison water.
I have antitoxin.
I didn't work after the fact.
As you bite into it, you do get a rush of water, and start to chew. It has no taste to it, but you do feel like you've had a little bit of food.
So it's like a giant gusher.
Sure.
Okay, so there's acid. Ikkiki, when you flew up in the acid, did it look like it came off to the right?
Ikki is going to go over here. She's going to lift off and fly in again.
Okay. It looks to be the same room.
All right. That is the exact same room.
Oh, shh, shh, shh. There's somebody up here. I want to peek around the corner.
Ikki's going to quietly bite another water orb sprout.
It's another one of those cobalt things.
All right. So, peering into this room, the chamber before you looks like a mockery of a throne room, crafted from the contents of a trash heap. Shredded and soiled tapestries hang on the wall. The edge is crooked and torn. At the back of the chamber sits a makeshift throne, cobbled together from chunks of scrapped zirkwood or and other random junk. In front of the throne, you see a drunken kobold dancing and singing and drinking. Also seems to be waving a javelin around.
How dry.
So is that the guy I'm seeing?
Yes. Alright, so you eat another one of the bubbles.
Yep.
You have now ingested 2 pounds of food and 2 gallons of water.
So I'm guessing I probably don't weigh 84 pounds anymore. I can't fly.
So what do we want to do with them?
Trying to remove apparently bubbles.
Yeah. Well, Kayfar's gonna make the same gestures that he makes when he's about to throw a firebolt.
Does Ikkiki see this gesture?
I mean, he's not trying to hide it. It'd be difficult for maybe this guy to see it, but Ikki's not very far away.
Yeah, she's just dancing around the room, doesn't seem to be paying attention to anything going on. Just drinking from a goblet. Or
All
she's
right.
just twirling the javelin around. It seems almost like as she's dancing, that she's fighting imaginary people, just kind of dancing around, singing, drinking, swinging the javelin.
All right. Well, yep, said what I'm doing, so I guess I'm going to throw out a firebolt.
All right, so I need everybody to go ahead and roll initiative.
Although it's possible that firebolt just kills it.
Right.
So I whisper to Kayfar, be very accurate with that and careful, and give bardic inspiration. And then I am holding an alchemist's fire if that thing gets within 10. 15 people.
And the other bardic inspiration on Alton were off, right?
If it's been more than 10 minutes since our last fight, then yes.
Yeah, okay.
I'm sure it has.
Alright, so
Would it have been aware of us before we started combat?
as soon as the action of doing something goes, it starts combat. So it, because of its
But
initiative.
But if it's not aware of us beforehand, then it's surprised.
You guys weren't really sneaky, though. The action of an aggressive action starts combat.
No, I get that. I'm not disputing that. But if it's completely oblivious to our presence and it's suddenly under attack, would it not be surprised if it doesn't know that we're here before combat starts?
Only if
I
you
didn't
guys
do anything
do
to draw its
sneaky.
attention.
Like the way the rules are set up, you have to do something sneaky to get a surprise round. Alright, so it's going to move up.
Oh, so when it got to here, I would have tossed Alchemist Fire.
Yes. Okay.
Wow.
And you see it stumble towards you, get engulfed in the flames, and then explode. Since nothing is within 5 feet, you guys are not damaged by it, but it becomes a puddle.
And Imeavie's quite startled. That worked rather well.
Yep.
I feel kind of bad now. I don't know that she would have attacked me.
She did seem to be aggressively moving towards you, so.
Okay. Well, so that was that.
Alright, so in this area, most of the items in here have been smashed or burned. The only thing really of any value is the silver goblet she was drinking from, and then the javelin, which doesn't seem to be at all affected by the acid that was on her or the fire.
Ooh, who can use a javelin?
I'm checking. I can't.
A javelin's a simple weapon, so anybody that can use a simple weapon can use a javelin.
Oh, I could use a javelin then.
It is strength based, though.
I can't use a javelin then. So I'll sort of hand out who's a strong person that doesn't have a weapon that can use a javelin.
Well, we may as well keep it for now. The two stronger people are carrying those chests.
Okay. Well, I guess I can hang on to it. I was poking at things.
All right.
All right. So everything seems kind of quiet. You do kind of hear off in the distance some more yapping, some what sounds to be laughter, but it's very faint. You also Once you're within the throne room, moving around, when you get towards the left side of the room, you notice a horrible stench.
Does
Ew,
it
look
smell
at
like
that.
anything that would occur in nature that I would recognize?
When you get close enough to really make out what it is, you smell what seems to be waste, rotting food. Yeah, pretty much that's all you smell. And when you get to the left side of the room, it's almost overbearing.
Yeah. You suppose that's where they keep their. I don't. Did they mind smells? Oh, wait, guys, there's more. There's more up there. And I point over towards this area.
Okay, well, so I guess this time we'll stealth.
Yeah.
All right, so making your way up. Go ahead and give me a group stealth check. All right, so you see these kobolds. All right, so as you approach this chamber, you see the two kobolds brutally tormenting a fish-like creature that is pinned to the floor beneath a net. Heavy chunks of stone hold the net in place, and the sadistic laughter and loud teasing from the kobold seems to be preventing them from noticing any sounds around the chamber. You can see the small fish-like creature is it's not even really moving. It's laying on its back.
We saw two of those cobalt things in there.
Yes. And then one fish-like creature under a net.
I'm gonna pick up some dust and blow another sleep spell in there.
All right. So for that, we'll go ahead and go into combat, and they will be surprised.
This one wasn't nearly as good.
CharisSophia says, French.
Kayfar's just going to go ahead and use that bardic inspiration. Well, yeah, I'm going to use that. What is it, a D6?
Yes.
Yeah. Put my initiative up to 8. Bree's all the way back here. She's not really going to be able to do anything unless she just moves up.
All right, so we're gonna go on up here. Yeah, I don't want to block the doorway, so I feel like I can't see anything. So,
Yeah, ignore the purple area. It isn't there yet.
okay. Since I don't want to block the doorway, I'm just going to end my turn here. Because there's not a whole lot Bree can do at the moment.
Okay. Alright, he is surprised. That creature is stuck on his back. Kayfar.
Alright, Kayfar's going to move in. Going to move up to there. Sorry. I'm just going to move this out of the way for a minute.
Yep.
And Kayfar says, about time we heated things up. And I'm going to go ahead and heat things up with a nice summer breeze. Let me roll, because I haven't used my thing yet, so I need to roll a d20. All right, so no whatchamacallit this time. Wild magic.
Somebody's incapacitated automatically fails dex saves, right?
Yeah, well, if you're restrained or incapacitated or whatever, yeah, you automatically fail.
Alright, so one kobold seems to be remaining, and Flump also seems to be dead.
Alright, so how far did I move? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yep, I'll just move down to here. Finish it off!
Yeah, you got it.
Hmm?
I'll dodge. Actually, I'm going to just move over here. I'm going to look elsewhere.
All right, Alton then. Let's see what he can do real quick. So as a bonus action, he's going to move his hunter's mark over to that. And then he's going to attack. Oh, ha! That's kind of weird. For some reason, it's adding his hunter's mark onto his attack and not his damage, but it doesn't matter. So just add 6 onto whatever that damage roll is. Actually, it's not 6, it's 12, but yeah.
That is enough to put that kobold down as well, but he is within 5 feet of.
Is it a dex save?
Yes.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Oh, no, never mind. Can't do it.
Alright, so. And that should end combat.
Is there anything else going on in this room?
Alright, so. No, you don't see anything else. The only thing really of value is another drinking glass that the two kobolds were kind of passing back and forth as they were tormenting the helpless creature.
Can we move the rocks that are holding the net down?
Yeah. It is no longer restrained by the rocks.
And Imeávie whispers to Kayfar, "We could have done that less, more gently."
But we don't know what that creature is. I didn't want to give it the chance. I mean, we're in the Underdark. I didn't want to give it the chance to murder us all.
So do we find anything in here?
Nope, there's nothing else in there.
Just know that if it's a choice between keeping us alive or being nice to strange creatures that we find in caves, I'm definitely gonna focus on keeping us alive.
All right, so let's see what was over here.
Moving that way again, you get overwhelming smell.
Oh, right. I'm not going there. So we didn't find any.
You can see in there when you get close enough that it's pretty much just a latrine and a trash hole for the kobolds.
So the only equipment we found were a bunch of tools.
I think there was still one place we haven't been. Although I don't know if there's anything there, but there was up in this, up this direction.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. You make it back through the throne room, back into the place with all the fungus. Inside this area, the floor of the room is covered in coins, gems, and trinkets. There are 3 wooden chests haphazardly tossed into the room, open and apparently empty. You can also see a bunch of gear and stuff scattered around the room.
Huh. Always in the last place you look for it.
Yeah.
What kind of gear?
Are you? So you're walking in to examine it. As you go to pick up one of the, well, you see a bunch of packs, weapons, things like that laying around. Some scale mail, some leather armor, daggers, wooden shields, scimitar. A couple of different packs.
I want to look in the packs.
Okay. As soon as you lift one of the packs, in the distance you hear the echo of a loud bang.
In the distance.
The pack that you pick up seems to be entertainer's pack.
Well, that's also something Kayfar can use.
Ikkiki doesn't even look and throws the pack at him.
So, moving around, you see all these items. On top of that, the coins totaled this much.
A druidic focus?
So apparently they've had other folks here.
And it seemed that the elf's other members of his party seemed to be adventurers as well.
Well, Alton gets his can he use the longbow?
Yes, he can.
Oh, now he
I'm
gets
not sure
that.
actually.
Yeah, he can. Everything that's in there equals up to all the stuff that the NPCs would use and everything that would have been your starting packets.
Yeah, Alton can't use a longbow. A longbow is a heavy weapon, and he's a halfling.
So can I use an arcane focus instead of material components?
No, I believe yours is components.
All right, so I'll
You're
put the
a
component
bard,
pouch.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, anybody can use an arcane focus if they're an arcane caster. I'm pretty sure.
Bards are. Okay, so I'm gonna grab the arcane focus,
I'm taking a shield.
the pan flute.
Oh, what's the shield made of?
Wood.
Cool. Yeah, awesome.
I guess I'm grabbing some leather armor because I will not wear metal.
I'll take some leather armor too, because there's 3 of those.
I guess I'm gonna take a scimitar, or the scimitar, since there's no quarterstaffs or anything.
Is there only one arcane focus there?
Yep. one arcane
Yeah, there's one
focus, one druid,
and
then one component pouch. So if you want to stock the NPCs with their weapons.
Oh, there's a component pouch, right? Well, if there's a component pouch and an arcane focus, would you mind if I have the focus?
all right, you can have the focus, and I'll take the component pouch. Ooh, there's a hand crossbow. I can use a hand crossbow.
Oh, are you guys gonna equip the NPCs or leave them without weapons?
I don't really care about them. Bree could take. I mean, there were what, 7 short swords?
Yeah.
So that'd be handy for Bree to have one. Alton has archery fighting style, so he needs. I guess he would probably use a light crossbow then.
I took one of the hand crossbows. Let's see, I can use a long sword, a rapier, or a short sword. I'll take a short sword. Although, pity there isn't a rapier. A rapier would be better because it's a finesse weapon. And I would be better with finesse weapons.
Bree would probably be the best with a rapier. Oh no, wait. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Well, there aren't any rapiers. There aren't any rapiers.
There
one.
is.
Scimitar.
There's a rapier.
Oh! I want the rapier. Not the short sword. I want the rapier.
Hmm?
Because that's something I can actually use.
Are you planning on spending a lot of time in melee? Because the rapier is probably best going to the rogue, since the rogue does more damage.
Why does the rogue do more damage?
Because the rogue has sneak attack, the bard does not.
I want the rapier. The rogue can take the burglar's pack.
I'm going to take an explorer's pack.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, I guess.
Although we can pick and choose. Although we can pick and choose what we take from it. You know, it's a backpack. Tinderbox, mess kit, bedroll, backpack, torches, rations, water skin, rope.
Oh, we've got another set of thieves' tools. So Bree already has one set. Does Imeávie have proficiency with thieves' tools?
I do not.
Because if not, Alton does. So we'll have 2 people with thieves' tools.
Yeah, I do not have proficiency with thieves' tools.
Did the bard take take the pan flute?
The bard did.
All right. Shintar asked for a short sword and hand crossbow if possible.
Yep, and take both. So that's both hand crossbows are now accounted for.
Oh, sorry, Sheriff. The drow asked for that. Topsy also would like the same combo, is what he's used to, but we'll just take the short sword if that's all that's left.
Yeah.
Did anybody take the burglar's pack? Because I feel like Bree would take that.
Well, go ahead and also like open it up and take out of it whatever you want out of it.
I guess who Alton will take the scale mail, since he's the only person that can use medium armor.
So what is Kayfar, you expressed interest in the entertainer's pack.
Yep.
What do you specifically want out of it? Do you want the disguise kit?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't taken an explorer's kit. Between the burglar's pack, the 4 explorers kits, and the entertainer's kit, like we each have something there.
Right. Well, that's why I was looking at, we've got there's costumes in it, there's candles in it, there's a few rations, there's a disguise kit. I don't have proficiency with the disguise kit.
Yeah, the entertainer's kit has stuff that is specifically useful to Kayfar.
Bree also has proficiency in disguises.
So, okay, so I'll give Bree the disguise kit.
Okay. I mean, Kayfar would probably be better because Kayfar would be much better at dealing with disguises than Bree. She's got proficiency, but she's got a -1 to her charisma. Oh, sorry, no, she's got a +1 to her charisma, whereas I've got a +4.
Yeah, Bree doesn't want the disguise kit.
Okay, Kayfar gets the disguise kit. I'm taking the candles. There's a couple of costumes, which we could use as clothing.
Again, I would rather just keep the whole the whole entertainer's kit, because everything that's in it would be useful with Kayfar's skill set.
How many leather armors are left? I know I have one.
I have one.
Alton has the scale mail, right?
Yeah, Alton took the scale mail.
Does Kayfar need armor?
I don't think I'm proficient with any armor. I'm just going to double check. Nope, Kayfar is not proficient with any kind of armor.
Okay, so you're okay with Bree taking leather armor?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so Bree has short sword and leather armor. I took 1 wooden shield, explorer's pack leather armor, and scimitar. And let me see here.
So Kayfar took the arcane focus, the entertainer's pack, and that's it. I took this lot.
Okay, so then Aldith would get the short sword and longbow. Prince doesn't want anything, right?
Nope, he can only use his claws.
Does Shushar want anything?
He doesn't really need anything. He says
We-
if there was a spear or net, he could use that, but considering my
I have a
vow, I doubt
javelin.
it would do anything with it. Actually, he will go ahead and collect the 2 nets that were used as traps and stuff just to have. You can always use that for something else, maybe to drag items or things like that.
Can anybody else use wooden shields? Or want one?
Alton can. If he gets up into melee combat, he can use a sword and shield. So if there's more than one shield, then he can take the other. Oh, there's only the one wooden shield, though, isn't there?
Oh yeah, I was putting the comma in front of something else. So there's still 4 daggers.
I took one.
Topsy.
Yeah,
Topsy doesn't.
yeah, Topsy doesn't need it. He's a were rat. He comes with
He's got
4.
claws.
Yeah, he comes with claws.
Well, once a day you can transform, so he is still limited, but yeah.
I give Bree another dagger.
Seaspray
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm
713
pretty
says
sure the
20.
2 daggers were supposed to go to the halflings, but based off of these starter packs. But they can go to whoever.
Well, yeah, if I have something that somebody else needs or wants, except the rapier, I want the rapier. But so we have a javelin up for grab. I have a javelin and a dagger that I could give up. We could also pass around the alchemist fires, alchemist frost, and acidic fire.
You also notice on the javelin there's some runes carved into it.
Are they druidic?
They seem to be arcanic in nature.
I'm proficient in javelin, but I don't know if anybody else wants it.
Here, why don't you take the javelin then?
Okie dokie.
All right, so javelin is going to Ikkiki.
Can I do a Arcana check on it to see if I know anything about it?
Yes, since you're proficient.
Would it be at advantage?
No.
Okay. It was worth a try.
All right. Looking at it and studying it for a little while, you see the word return on it. Those runes kind of just start to form into the word return.
Ooh, nice.
Return to owner. Does it feel right to have the javelin?
I mean, it feels extremely nice, well balanced, and well crafted. And considering it hadn't taken any damage from acid or anything else, the fire that it was engulfed in.
Yay! New toys.
Adding it to your sheets, I will have to modify part of it though. Why did it not add? It's not a, oh. But it's not going onto your sheet. Nope, that does make it. It's a different item. But it's also a returning javelin.
I'm just going to sit here and stare at it.
I'll update your sheet later with the item. Alright. After you guys spend some time divvying up everything, starting to get late in the day.
It seems like a good place, maybe to rest.
It's probably a good idea to just have another check around because we did hear a bang in the distance once we started picking stuff up.
I can fly over and see if I see anything.
Okay.
Whee! Can I tell what direction it came from?
Nope. It just kind of echoed and reverberated around the whole cave.
Okay. And did Shushar pick up this other net? Alright, so we're gonna fly through here. Maybe. I think I'm stuck in the wall. There we go. Just quietly flying.
You do notice where all the dead bodies are, the pools of green acid are still there.
Which is why I'm flying. We don't want to step in that.
As you get around that corner, you notice that there's a giant portcullis at the entrance of the cavern.
So we're locked in here?
Seems so.
Alright, we're gonna fly back really quickly. As quick as my old computer will let me go. I just got kicked out, so I will be right back. So when I get back to everybody, I'm just going to tell them that I saw a giant portcullis that fell, which would explain the loud bang that we heard.
Okay, so what does it block off?
Us from getting out.
What?
We're locked in here.
Acid. I've got acid. Where was? Let's. Well, do we want to rest first, or does being trapped in here a problem? Seems like it might be a problem.
Was that metal ticking that we heard the gate?
No, that was the guy tinkering.
Okay. I feel like a rest wouldn't be a bad idea.
If the gate's down, at the very least, it's probably safe for now, unless something's trapped in here with us.
And we do have a abundance of food and water with these mushrooms. So I vote rest.
Although saying that, Guilty, you did say that magic feels weird here, right?
That I did.
We should not rest here. It's a good point. We have
Okay.
we have that, but the magic being weird here, yeah, I don't think we should rest here. I think it might end badly for us. We don't know what happened to those kobolds, but I would rather that didn't happen to us.
Yeah. I've got some acid here we can try to use on the bars.
Inky takes another bite of these orbs.
Okay. You have now taken 3 days worth of food and water.
They're just addicting.
Chocolate
Bree's gonna
flavored?
take one too.
Yeah. So will Imeávie.
Is Stool going to eat one since it's a fungus?
Sure.
Ooh.
You see the other ones kind of start gathering up the rest of them to take with them.
Is this where the portcullis is? Is this where the portcullis is?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll use one of the acid. The acidic fire things. Except instead of splashing, instead of throwing it at it, try and pour it on the.
Okay.
Although this is a portcullis bars, I can see on the other side, right?
Yeah, it's really tightly knit, but yes, you can kind of peer through.
Okay, I step to the other side. And I look for a lever, a switch.
Okay, you go ahead and give me an investigation check. All right, you are definitely certain that there is nothing out here to release it.
So wait, since you face stepped outside, now you're outside of the portcullis?
Yeah.
And you have to short or long rest.
Yeah.
Oh crap.
But I still have the acid here. I can work on the bars, or I can work on the portcullis with the acid.
You notice that it's not typical portcullis. It seems to be made out of that zerk wood.
Oh, so like a mushroom that acts like a tree.
Yeah, so it's almost like wood.
Okay.
So this was acidic fire, so.
Well, I can just set it alight. We can save those potions.
I'm on the other side of this.
Yep.
Yeah, I just have you there for it. Trying to look up to see if there's any special properties about it.
I can cast Produce Flame on it.
And I don't see anything. It's just a really strong wood, I think. Mushrooms. All right, yeah, so eventually it would take a little while, but it would burn to the point where you could break it.
All right.
All right, so you guys kind of head back out into the Underdark.
Do we see any sign of what closed that? Does it look sound? I mean, did it look like something that we did inside, or did somebody do this to us? Or
Where's that elf?
His dead body's a ways off.
Okay.
Were you wanting to go back to where that he was, or
Did he die from the acid?
you're not sure what caused the death?
Can I cause an roll investigation or medicine or arcana?
If you guys want to take the time to go back there and stuff like that, you could do another check.
Is that the only way back? Because I think I remember Shushar saying that we would have to double back if there's no way out of here, because he said he didn't see any other things. So would we have to go back that way, or is there somewhere else we can go?
Yes, you would make your way back. I guess you would make your way back that way. Back to the next division in the tunnels.
Okay.
When you arrive back, you just see a green puddle.
All right, that looks like it was the acid.
It's probably between all the travel to and from, with all the exploration. It's been about 8 hours or so. You guys have started to feel like the hunger and possible exhaustion approaching.
Yeah, we'll find somewhere to rest up. I guess since it's the end of the day.
Well, I mean, you guys could still technically push on for another 8 hours or so if you wanted to, before bedding down for the night.
Don't really want to push into exhaustion if we've got no reason to.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Time-wise, you feel that way, at least.
All right. So yeah, if we can find a relatively safe place for us to bed down, then I guess we can do that.
All right.
Food-wise, Alton also has good berry, so you can guess that.
And you guys also have like 15 of those fungus left that you could dispense amongst each other, which is a gallon of food and a gallon of water each.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll have those then instead.
Sounds good.
Having issues. All right. So, you guys are able to find a fairly secure spot. You able to sit down, relax, take a long rest. During the evening, Ikkiki, Kayfar, and you all have a dream. You see, in this dream, you have your vision starts to become very mucky and blurry, almost as if you're looking almost through jello. And as you kind of like look around more and look down at yourself, you see this shapeless being. It's almost as if you are living inside of a jelly and sludging around. You can't make out exactly where you are, but you see swarms of thousands of shapeless creatures congregating around. In front of you, it looks like an army of ooze, and a 9-foot tall, gargantuous green slime covered in red eyes look down upon the swarm. You can tell that he's actually smiling, but he doesn't have a face. And when you look down closer, you notice that you are standing upon a pile of bones, so thick that you can't make out what the ground is made of. You also see decomposing corpses sitting around this faceless lord, and they look delicious to you. And that's where we'll end for today.
Ew.
Lovely dreams.